Hear the drums, yours and mine, and it beats for our time. From the forest to the tide, we are the hearts of pine. Hear the drums, yours and mine, and it beats for our time. From the forest to the tide, we are the hearts of pine. Hear the drums, yours and mine, and it beats for our time. From the forest to the tide, we are the hearts of pine. Hear the drums, yours and mine, and it beats for our time. From the forest to the tide, we are the hearts of pine.
What is going on, everybody? Mitchell, Peter, John, and Sam back with a post-match pulse. It feels like it's been forever. So what happens when you take a week off and then you go out on the road and you have a bunch of stuff happen in between. Life happens. But we finally got some Fort Fitzy football, and it did not disappoint. What a summer night in Portland against the Charlotte Independents. Your Portland Hearts of Pine 4, Charlotte 2. Let's tuck right into it, because this game had a lot kind of riding on it. Peter, with you being the new one on the panel, on the post-match pulse, let's start with you. How are you feeling going into this game? You know, the Hearts have just come off a gritty win on the road in Westchester. We're looking really, really good in our last 7. How are you feeling with Charlotte coming to town?
Well, thanks for having me, first of all, Mitch. And like I said, I'm not new. I'm the third string back up here. That's how I consider myself. Okay, I've always been following you guys, and I always watched the episode. So, yeah, great question. So, I feel walking around, because I was soaking the energy before the game, right? I always talk to people, very unlike me. Talk to everybody, and I could sense that everybody was a bit not nervous, but maybe it was the 2 week break, or it felt like 2 weeks, the 2 week break leading up to it, or people felt like uncomfortable almost. I mean, especially in our roles in a way, like the match day folks. And I'm so glad we were all wrong. It was. I'm not going to jump ahead now for the game analysis, but it had to be one of the best games that they've played. Especially at home. And I know Sam is our lineup freak. I was surprised by the lineup. Maybe you know what I'm getting at, Sam. What do you think was one of the surprises that kind of worked?
Well, I mean, considering that, we walk in and you get the message. I've got some insider info on my phone. One of my buddies on the stadium setup crew, he noticed that Titus was warming up with the reserves, so that means no Titus. And we found out post match that it was just a precautionary, sort of a maintenance day for Titus. So he didn't see any game action, and as Bobby said, if everything was on the line, he would have probably risked it. But I think it just goes to show sort of the depth of the squad. So it was Noah Kvifta getting the start up top, and even though he couldn't find the score sheet, a real well put in shift by Kvifta. And but anyways, yeah, I totally agree with you, Peter, that it was a bit of an unexpected 11. But then again, I think it was just sort of contributed. Everybody, like you said, it felt like the postponement threw everybody for a spin, myself included. That it when pulling up for the scrimmage the day that Spokane got stuck in Chicago, it just sort of threw everyone for a spin. And yesterday, or 2 days ago, Saturday was a return to normalcy. And I don't know, Tabor, you think the same thing?
Yeah, I think people were amped up for the game. Like, I think it was, it's a 3-day weekend. When I went over to get the heartbeat going on the other side, I was like, hey, no passengers tonight. It's a 3-day weekend. You can take an extra day off on Monday. Just, call me, I guess. And people were ready to go. It was great, going to the scrimmage for those that got to go to the kind of friendly scrimmage that we had. But it's just not the same, when people walk into the stadium on match day. It's a magical place to be, and like I think people were amped up, and I think people were ready for a hard night, because they, all these games from here on out matter. They all mattered, but like from here on out, like you need 3 points at home in every game, essentially. And I think people were a little nervous, but yeah, overall, just it was great to be back to that return to normalcy, I think. I don't know what you thought, Mitch.
Yeah, I definitely share that sentiment, and I was very, very, very vocal about the fact that I was not going to New York. And when Spokane happened, I was like, I don't know. I wanted to go as soon as the schedule came out, because it's the closest trip. With the form we've been in, there's been a lot going on. I needed to see it for myself, and I was really, really proud of the performance we put in Westchester. And maybe it was a little bit telling. I think the one starting lineup, not red flag, but like kind of eyes I made was Sean Vinberg on the right. We got to see a little bit of it when Colby went down in Westchester. And I think having a veteran that's willing to slide over to the right in a much different role than he's been playing for this team all season, it was interesting to see what kind of performance he would put in. With no Mo in the side, we find out that it's just a personal reason. He's out for some family stuff. So no, all things considered, I was really excited. I thought we put in a really good performance against Charlotte last time out, and I wanted to expand on it. I thought we deserved more from that game. So I felt like 3 points was a necessity. Obviously, with where we were in the table going into the game, we have 3 games in hand now on a lot of the teams around us. We're kind of dealing with some injury struggles here and there. So I feel like we keep saying it, but this one felt like more defining than the last 4 or 5 in terms of what needed to happen and what could have happened. So we get the match underway. Obviously, I want to start by saying thank you to all of our members in the soccer community, first of all, for showing up for one of our own. you know, we had a tough week. Chicano, if you're not familiar, was detained by ICE. Maine Legends player, very, very, you know, pivotal member of our soccer community. We were able to raise personal funds for him and funds to help cover legal fees to help bring him home. So really proud of the platform and the community we've cultivated, and really proud of the celebration we got to have together. We had a big banner displayed in the front of the section for the entirety of the game, and you know, I think a lot of people were weighing on that as well. You know, it's a subject that hits close to home, and I know the players were fired up for it as well. Immigrants are a very, very important part of our community, and to have somebody not there that should be, it hurts. We take it personal. So just want to say thank you to everybody that showed up and showed support for that.
And a special shout out to Mikey Lopez for his pregame walk-in fit with the Stand with Chicano homemade T-shirt that he made, and that's my captain right there.
Yeah, Mikey.
It's on his Instagram. Yeah, but Mikey, that's my captain. That's my captain right there.
Yeah,
but you know,
unbelievable showing.
Absolutely. And, you know, and on top of that, 15th minute, you know, because he wore number 15 for Maine Legends, everyone chanting, bring him home. It's a powerful message to send. And I'm very glad that we delivered it in such a manner that the whole world could hear it on ESPN Plus.
Absolutely.
You could hear it. I watched the game after, and you could hear it.
It was one of the more clear ones, and kind of speaking to the energy of the fans there. Like, I think a lot of us just took a little bit to get back into the game. One thing I thought I felt was that the heartbeat on the other side of the pitch was the loudest it's been. That was a loud one. There was a lot of participation on the other side of the field. But I have to admit, I even looked at Donald. I was like, does it feel like flat right now? Like, what's going on? Like, we need something to happen. We need a crunching tackle or a really nice through ball, a shot on net, and then Masashi 2 minutes in is whizzing one right over the crossbar. So I think that really helped people breathe a little bit, relax. It's gonna be okay, and we got right to work. I was shocked, you know, at how much we were inviting pressure early on. It felt like we weren't like attacking the ball as much. Tabor, I see you shaking your head. What else were you seeing in that first like 15?
Yeah, I think it goes back to what they were doing with Westchester. I mean, it's again that kind of creating that artificial transition. You know, Bobby wants to kind of play through everybody, and it's a different way to do it. You know, it's not possession based. It's possession for the. It's not possession for the sake of possession. You look at all the goals, and they all happened in bang, 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 right? And so I think they've figured out that with Kamali and with Sega at the back, if they get the ball there, they can then really spring an attack forward. So I think that was maybe the new game plan from here on out. But I think they have something that they can work with now, and that ability to create that artificial transition with your center backs is going to really create opportunities down the road, and we see it throughout the game, obviously.
The last four, I can't remember exactly what the number is, but a lot of the most recent goals were like center back or right back, pass it over, cross it over to left wing or at least left mid, they run it up and then cross in. We scored, I think, 3 out of the last 5, something like that, you know, with that build up, which shows you, you know, like, again, I was so impressed with Sean Winberg, you know, and Taylor and I had talked in the past, and I always explained how I see Winberg. Winberg always seems to me like the fed up adult that's the only grown-up on the field that needs to take care of things now, you know, because he always plays so thoughtful, so mindful and aggressive, you know. He was like Sean Winberginho out there, you know what I mean, like a right winger almost. It was, I mean, and when he scored, I I was so happy for him too, because I don't want to say anything, but that's probably the last thing I would expect out of him. Usually center back, then right back is like amazing,
Well, funny you
Um,
mentioned that, Peter. Uh, considering in the post-game presser, apparently when Sean was playing overseas in Germany, he did play in sort of a midfield role, and as and not to mention, I mean, this just everything about that goal was just superb. The pace, the finish, and most importantly, the celebration, hitting the gritty, just
huh,
giving the good folks over at DUFC infinite ammo for the next 6 months.
The backwards
Just
gritty, no
what
less.
was the last
the backwards gritty. Hopefully they put that in FC26 default celebration. But
that was probably the last thing I expected to see. I have to say yes.
yeah,
Not,
but it just an unbelievable goal. But I mean, we're sort of getting out of order here, because that was the 2-1 goal that put us ahead. But
Yeah, that was in the second half.
well, that's
yeah,
true, because
the
Wada
the first one coming in the 28th minute, Sashi getting one from Ollie, just scoring in front of the DU, and setting the tone, really. And I don't know, Tabor, what do you think? Because I think that was sort of the good way to sort of cap off a good opening push by the Hearts.
I mean, we rarely get. I mean, I won't say we rarely get to see a goal in front of the supporters section, but it was amazing to have a goal in front of the supporters section. And again, I just look back, and it's a kind of, again, route one right through the center back into Ollie, lays it off for Wada, one timer, bang it in. And it was good to see Wada do that. I think I was in the Discord during the Westchester game, and I said, "Oh, you got to be a little more greedy, Masashi." And this time he took his opportunity and he banged it in. It's the idea that you have players that are starting to feel themselves. I think, Ollie's going to feel himself. Like he's got that in the locker at this point. But I think seeing somebody like Wada default to shoot was amazing. It's going to make things that much easier, with these next 10 games coming. But yeah, I think overall it was a great transitional goal again. And I think that's what we've got to keep building on. And I don't know what you thought, Mitch, but it was a beautiful moment in front of the supporters.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I thought. I think this is now my 8th or 9th goal that I've missed. It's become habit. So leading up to it,
keep up that habit, please. Okay?
leading up to it, we've joked that I need my own porta potty. Like every time I get up, it's either I go get a water and a seltzer, or I go to the bathroom, and I just hear the zoo erupt. It's not even a coincidence anymore. It's just meant to be. But I was talking with Sebastian leading up to that, because I was a little critical of Sashi in that like 15 to 20 minute range. He had a couple of pretty bad giveaways in transition when we were building up, trying to move from midfield and into the offensive third. So to turn around and see him celebrating in the box and hear that roar, it put my mind at ease. I'm like, okay, we're good. Because I think when Masashi is running on all cylinders and is able to connect, maybe Michel's scanning a little further back, just behind midfield. He's looking to get the ball to Masashi or to the wings. If the wings are closed down, there's one option there, and then Masashi is the one that's gonna to transition. So if he's giving the ball away, we're not gonna be able to get those shots. So to have him step into that ball, roof it, couldn't have asked for a better situation. I love seeing midfield production, because I think that means our forwards are doing their job in creating space and running freely, and drawing the defenders. It means that we're threatening. So to be able to take that pressure off and then open up the space for everyone else was immense.
I think in all fairness too, I wrote it down earlier that Charlotte, from what I saw, because I see 20% of the game, right? Because I have my back always turned. But from what I saw was they were pretty good too. You know what I mean? So it's not like they lowered their standards. I think both teams played up, their standards. And fortunately for us, we clicked a bit more. I don't remember their names, but I knew number 2 on Charlotte. I don't know the access to him. I sit here in front
Hold
of the
on,
computer.
I gotcha.
Oh, I know. Sam is on it. Number 2.
Yeah.
He impressed me already in the away game. He scored against us, and I'm like, oh shoot, and he was good, man. But you can tell that, and has been, and 9 out of 10 cases at times the case that we then play as a team and come up together. And if he overruns one midfielder, for instance, and the right back or center back move over and step up and they help out, and that was so impressive on Saturday. And again, against credit to Charlotte, because they were a good team. Do you have his name, Sam, by any chance?
One
Spielman?
one sec here.
I gotcha. Is it Spielman, their center back?
No, it's their left
Spielman
back.
Number 4, because I wrote that down. Spielman was number 4, and because I got a little story about that later on. Yes.
Well, we won't spoil it, but I mean, I guess we can move to the next moment in that first half.
Well, yeah, and I've got a little bit of a soapbox here to get on, Mitchell.
You definitely can, and I know there are a lot of people that probably are going to be really critical of it. But I will preface with this: for how bad some of our games have been officiated, I'm not going to let one bad missed call that could be a toss-up just because of the reaction. Like, if his arm didn't flail out and he made a big scene of it, probably easier to get away from. But for the most part, that game was pretty evenly called, aside from this one really unfortunate missed call.
I agree. Then, PRO, as much as we'd love to have the top tier, this is USL League One. The officials are developing. We're not necessarily getting the best and brightest. And yeah. And also, Peter, one more note, that outside back you were talking about from Charlotte, Patrice Enga.
Okay, Enga.
But
this great job, man.
But anyways, personally, that was just, in the moment, I think, you sort of saw the hands go up and it was like, oh God, we conceded a penalty. It wasn't until after the game that I turned on ESPN Plus to rewatch it and saw that shouldn't have been a penalty. Not in the slightest. But Mitch, I think you said it best. I'm not going to let one missed call, just basically, put the piss in the punch bowl.
Yeah, I think it was hard for us in the supporter section to digest what happened just because we were on the opposite end.
Well, yeah.
But
exactly.
Thinking back on it, I really only can remember once, maybe twice, the "you don't know what you're doings" came out. Like, all in all, it was a pretty solid officiating performance, and it didn't.
This ref might have known what he was doing.
It didn't detract from the overall outcome of it. We're not sitting there like beating our heads off a wall, thinking, "Oh, that's never a pen." Like, why was like we didn't drop points, nothing happened. So maybe it would have been more out there if it was a 2-2 game or a 3-3 game that it finished on, but maybe I'm just crazy. Who knows?
It was a little sour taste in my mouth after the first half, but we'll get into the second half here because Hearts really, as they have been most of the year, sort of turned it on in the second half.
Yeah, all we need is a halftime talk and then the supporters drowning out all the second half instructions. And I think I was thinking about that when we were talking about the goal in front of our section, and we've only had 1 or 2 games at home with the second half in front of us, if I can recall. I think it's only 1.
Detroit. Trying to think
Detroit,
about
yes.
But is that by design? Like, we're scoring more in the second half away from the supporters. We're drawing on the energy and maybe creating some difficulties in the offensive end. What are your thoughts on that, Peter?
Are you criticizing the support right now, Mitch?
No, I'm not criticizing us. I'm just trying to figure out, like, should we get a home playoff match? What's the ideal situation? What do we as supporters and the players and the team want to get the best out of a bad situation? Should it come about? Like, is this by design?
Yeah, I think when you see because obviously we all watch the players, right? But we also watch the players off the ball, right? And so I think Ollie is huge, always looking at us and, you know, indicating for us to cheer more, which then to me shows me too, like, I hear what you're saying, but it's yeah, I don't know.
You know what, actually, Mitch, I think this is I'm going to have to run some numbers after we get out tonight. I would love to see the end-to-end difference. Just some more useless heart stats to put on the pile.
Do you think it has something to do with, like, the sun in the first half is with them and
It
against
could
them?
too, yeah.
I don't know. I think this is a good
just
science
that.
experiment. We need to gather all the data and hypothesize and
okay.
all that other good stuff. Because
I guess it is
I
a
think
good
we're onto
theory
something here,
question.
fellas.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been thinking about that because I think back to, like, Ollie celebrating with his dad and jumping the fence, or Messer coming over and jumping up with us. You know, like, those moments in the second half are standout.
Yeah.
But is it almost better to be further away from the action and not be there to
Too amped
celebrate?
up.
Yeah. Just save the energy for the bad guys. I don't know.
Guys, number 4, Nick Spielman.
Great transition. I love it, Peter. No, go ahead.
You know, no, he was. Listen, because I mean, you guys know anyway, you know, because we always and John and I we always lock eyes and said, "Is that our guy? Is that our guy today?" You know, and we not try to, because we seriously always go into with a open mind, open heart, say, "Hey, let's have a great celebration all together," right? However, the moment you mess with one of our players intentionally, you know, that's what makes you our man of the match, and you know, and I think Nick Spielman, by the way, I doubt he's gonna watch this, you know. By the way, great player, you know, built like a brick house, you know, fantastic player. Scored the first goal, right? He scored the pen.
Yep.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. He also, and again, I'm jumping ahead a little bit. He also got in this scuffle in the 90. Well, it was 95th minute.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, after Charlotte pulled that one back, but
to the fans or to the people around me, like, why are they arguing? I'm like, well, this is, you know, wasting time, and it's normal, right? But he got so heated, and which I love. I mean, who doesn't love competition, right? And he got so heated. Then we chanted a little bit, you know, like, to number 4. Nothing bad, just to cheer him up. I don't think he took that too well, because he turned around and that's his story to tell, right? But let me put it this way: if we would have been in arm's reach of him, I think he would have shown us what he thought of our chance. Let me put it this way, you know. But he was also, listen, he also sat there after the game for 10, 15 minutes, something like that, on the bench, taking it all in, like reflecting and stuff. And from an athlete, especially on that level, to see that, amazing, right? And however, he was our man of the match. Too bad it happened in the 95th minute, because I love myself a good booing session throughout the game, you know, which again, when they heard us,
Tavio Cicerelli treatment.
You know, it's love it, you know.
Also, I think this is our second number 4 we've gotten on, right?
That's true.
Number Greenville, right? Or was it Omaha?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Forget.
They're all blending together at this point.
You know, Yeah,
I thought it was
but
Halifax.
oh man,
The
yeah,
list is growing.
that was. You know, I'm gonna put it out there right now. I'm going to laugh all the way to the bank if this winter we get a notification pops up notification pops up on the phone. Hearts signed Tavio Cicarelli.
Any player.
And he'll be our shipper.
Because he's still young. I mean, he's only like 20 something. But you know, but anyways, back to the game at hand. One point that I really want to bring up is 63rd minute, we get the super sub once again, JT Kamara coming on in the second half.
I wrote it down too.
This is the second time it's happened. I think this might be a regular thing now. Tabor, what do we think? Is the super sub, is this going to be a thing now?
It could be. I mean, I think not to take anything away from Walter, because he also had a couple decent runs in. He had a great dribble and a cutback. He just gives you so much defensively. And I know Vinberg after the game mentioned how impressed he was with JT's defensive action this game. So I think when there's not that drop off defensively, it gives you again, I think I said it was a 1A, 1B kind of thing. But man, when you can bring JT on and those legs are flying, when everybody else's legs are heavy, he changes the game. He absolutely just makes things happen in the second half. And it's 2 games in a row now, so you don't kind of want to change anything when it's not broken either. So yeah, I think between JT and then some other things that they were doing in the midfield, which we can get into in a little bit, but I think JT just absolutely unlocks the game. He was playing more narrow, which Bobby also said in his game, and I think it opens up part of his game that could be really dangerous going forward. I don't know what you thought, Peter.
I wrote it down verbatim. Kamara super sub, scored within 15 minutes, and it's not a secret, right, that he's by far probably the shortest player on the pitch usually, and even compared to the other teams and blah blah blah. And I love the fact that he's like, yeah, I don't give a shit. I'm going to show you what I can do. And he fights as hard as anyone, if not harder. And his speed and like you said, Tabor, the defensive, his activity was so strong and always so smart. I love him. When I first saw him, I was like, okay, I wonder how much he's going to do, But he has won over my heart, man. We talked about it too. Who are our 100% wish list signings for next year, right? Who would we want to have, And to me, JT is definitely on that list. I know it's not up to us, but it would be one of those, Mitch, what do you think?
Yeah, and I want to give a shout out to Walter too. I mean, the last 2 or 3 games, he's kind of getting the MPA treatment with doing the dirty work and facilitating and opening up play for everybody else around him. And JT came in and just expanded on that, getting a goal, getting an assist. Like, I mean, the work rate is invaluable, and having him come off the bench, you guys nailed it on the head. It's having that energy with tired legs and that just unleashing of speed, pace, control on the ball. It's going to be dangerous and hard for people to deal with. Teams are not going to know what to do with it when you have Ollie Wright playing out of his gourd as well. I think the defender marking Ollie had like a 5-0 or a 4-5 on the day, like abysmal day on that side of the pitch, and you just bring in somebody to help overload that and create more chances on the opposite side. Like, how do you deal with that as a team at this level? It's hard. It's very, very hard to do. And it's the perfect time for this all to be clicking, just as you need to start getting these games in hand and shoring up your offense, which has been kind of the thing that's holding us back from getting over the line and really making a strong case for a home playoff match. Tabor.
And you look at it and you see that on average field position, Wada was your your most forward player.
Mhm.
Kifta was amazing, and he was making the runs off the ball. So I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
I think it's starting to click for all of them. Again, Bobby said as much after the game. He's going to need more time to figure things out, but it looks like he's starting to. So when you have, it's not on Ollie and it's not all on Wada. You've got JT coming in. You've got Walter making strides in the first half. Things look good right now. Not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but it's 2 games in a row with some like banger goals.
And those are our first back-to-back league wins.
Huge.
6
Mhm.
huge points. We've gotten
Yeah.
17 points from our last 8 games.
Mhm.
Hearts are on fire. They're on fire.
I
It's
wrote down
it's
depth
definitely
as well, because I think that's part of it now too, because we do have the depth, and it's pretty much like doesn't matter who's starting and who comes on. I mean, if you have JT on the bench, you know what I mean, and that's your sub, okay, I'll take it, and especially with us, embracing Titus FC. See, I'm jumping on the bandwagon here, with Titus, and then he's out, and we're panicking, we're like, oh, shoot. And yet, I mean, yes, I would have loved to see him play, and I'm sure he would have put up a show. But it didn't. I don't want to say we didn't miss him, but the offense play up or offensive build up, that was there. It started, like you said, Tabor. It started like they play through the lines, man. They play from the defense through the midfield, or even sometimes over the midfield, and I love seeing that. And I think that is part of the reason is the depth of the squad. Sam, I think I cut you off. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it really goes to show you just, they're getting hot at the right time. From the going into this one, we were on the outside of the playoff places looking in, and that was solely due to just, matches in hand and wins, etc. But it's that win bumps us up into 7th, and the push is on. And also just want to touch briefly in chat here. Spencer's here. What's up, Spence? He says Wada's one of the nicest team goals we scored all season. Sort of piggybacking off of that, I'm gonna be a contrarian here, and I'm gonna say that Ollie's goal to sort of put it away might have been the nicest team goal we scored this year, because that was a beautiful through ball to Ollie.
87.
That was the 4th one.
Okay, I wrote that down too.
Yeah,
I wrote that down too. That was a huge build-up. Sorry, Sam. Go ahead.
and no, go ahead, Peter. Because I honestly thought it was that and the JT goal. I think were 2 of the nicest goals we scored all season. And that it was one of those sure goals where I could feel the entire supporter section. They knew it was going in, so they just started celebrating like it was a goal before the ball even hit the net.
It was. You're right. You could sense it. You're like, yeah, man, we got this, right? We got this. Then also that reminded me, because I have a perfect view of the away bench, of course, including the coach. There were several times, especially after we scored, but not only after we scored. Several times that the coach looked over, and I think it was to his assistant, and he was like, I don't know what else to do. Again, it might be storytelling, reading wrongly or incorrectly, but that was the body language, at least, that I picked up, and that was because Charlotte they were playing. It wasn't like we were running over them. They were there and they were playing, and it was close. And this is why I think people, even in the 95th minute when they scored the second goal, they were still clinging on to something, because they knew this is not over, and makes this win so much better, because it wasn't like, Charlotte completely collapsed and we had some lucky shots. Like, no. We played up, man. We played up. And Charlotte, again, I should be their spokesperson probably, but because they played well. They played hard. They played somewhat fair.
Play well.
They were so emotionally drained after, because they were like, we were doing everything right and we were playing hard, and now they kick our asses with 4 goals, But the DU
when you play at Fort Fitzy.
That's I was going to say.
A little like feels like the reverse of the AV Alta game.
Yeah.
A little bit, where like we played out of our gourds and just didn't get a goal. Maybe
Mhm.
not to that extent, but when we got all 4 of those goals, you shoot the ball a lot, you're going to put the ball in the net.
Yeah.
And I feel like we've been snake bitten so many times where that just hasn't happened. And it finally is starting to happen for us, right? You create your own luck. We've said that multiple times on
Yeah.
here. But it feels a little bit like probably Charlotte's looking at that and like, man, we were in that until like the
Yeah.
70th
And
minute,
they
and
should.
then the
They
wheels
should.
fell off.
Well, yeah, and a sort of stat to sort of add on to that. In total shots, Charlotte actually did outshoot the Hearts by 14-13. They made up a lot of it in the second half with 10 total shots, which is just unbelievable.
Hunter did okay.
Yeah.
Hunter
But
Hunter
Yeah.
had a couple of
Eh,
good saves, but it wasn't like we were relying on Hunter like
Yeah,
No.
we had earlier
yeah,
in the
to
year.
keep
Like
us in it. Yeah.
with Sega and Kamali there was a very clear, calm level. Like anytime Sega was the last man back, his positioning, his ability to get in front of the ball and then just move people wherever
Right.
he wanted, that was on clear display. And it didn't feel like those shots, like there was a lot of block shots. And I felt like that
Yes.
last goal that got scored in front of us was almost just like a indicative of tired legs and
Yeah.
and just trying to
Yeah.
wrap things up. It wasn't like we weren't defending. It was a nice cut inside, cut it around. I think Messer and Kamali, if I'm not mistaken, or Messer
Hmm.
and Vinberg.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It was a nice shot.
it was a good goal, and credit to Charlotte for playing the way they did. I think it was a really, really good motivational piece for this team, and especially like Evan Southern. You look at all of the guys that are starting to come back from injury or coming into this team and trying to get up to speed as we're building into the fall. Evan Southern coming on and winning that header to play the ball in, play the game. The willingness to put your body on the line coming back from injury to get that ball continuing the attack, it stands out, and it's going to continue to stand out to me as one of the more selfless things that's happened this season, especially in the
Agreed.
league.
And and also on that, you gotta also sort of tip your cap to Noah Kvifta, because while he didn't find the score sheet, he sort of did the dirty work today, or he
Yeah.
did the dirty work during the game, in the 60 something minutes he put in, and then to see him get replaced with Evan Southern, which same mentality with fresh legs. It's just it goes to show the depth of
You're right.
this Hearts squad. And I also want to sort of call attention to what happened right after we conceded that second goal. In that Hunter Morse was not having any of the quick restart there, and to see his teammates back him up on that, it goes to show you just sort of the mentality that Bobby wanted to instill in this team since day one. We want to make it hard for you to play here, and we'll do it by any means necessary.
I think
also
mentality
feels
is
very
a-
professional from the
Yes.
team.
And
Yeah.
the mentality, Sam, is also something I wrote down too. And again, I directly correlate that to the depth. And I believe it was addressed in this podcast before, and also at Coach's Corner, I think, is knowing that you have people lined up behind you makes you perform a bit more aggressively and more involved on the pitch. Because if I don't show what I can do, I'm off, and somebody who is just as good as me will take my role and probably will outshine me during the day. And Evan Southern, I love that kid, man. I remember I saw I was behind the goal in Lewiston when he scored the winning penalty against, I can't remember now, but I remember it was
Hartford.
him. Yes,
Hartford.
that's it. And I'm like, he is,
Which-
I love him. And every time I see him play, especially at Fitzy now, you can tell, like you described it too, Sam, or Mitch, sorry. He plays his heart out, man. He's there. He wants to play. He wants to be there. And I feel that shows up in other players too. You know what I mean? And this is one thing this is where I get so frustrated when we lose, that I'm like, I can't say they're not fighting and they're not trying because I have yet to well, maybe I saw one away game on TV where they were like,
Chattanooga away.
Chattanooga. Yeah.
I think that's it. But that was one out of, I don't know how many games we've played now, because that's the mentality. And I think, and you're right, Mitch, especially that with Coach Bobby contributing to that by choosing the right players, also by letting the right players go. You know what I mean? Or
and letting players, and putting in new players. You know, there hasn't been much in terms of the transaction wire, but you know, it seems like, you know, it seems like the mentality's been the same. Tabor, what do you think?
I was gonna just say, like, it's also really important for the play. Like, obviously we're gonna back the boys, but like, some of these guys are in their second, third season to this point. Evans, you know, coming back from a surgery, brand new to the team. I think they're still learning to be professionals, but it feels like performances away at Westchester, at home 2 days ago, those are big steps forward as professionals. When in the 95th minute, you're pissed because the ball went in the back of the net and you're not going to let them have that quick restart. Like, F you guys, we're going to grind this thing out right now. That is down to Bobby, you know, coaching the boys up. Like, some of these guys are still learning to be professionals, and it's those kind of things where if they went back and played that Chattanooga game away, that kind of stuff wouldn't happen now. I don't know what you think.
Agreed,
Mitch.
I mean, it's just my waking nightmare. I was joking about it this weekend because I know it's coming. You know, Chattanooga have been absolutely dominating the top of the table, and they're doing it in a way that I don't find enjoyable to watch. I like, it is not fun to score a quick goal and then park the bus and just kick it away. I don't like that. It was our worst game of the season. Thankfully it's at home, but my worst nightmare is Chattanooga scores early and then just sits in our box for 70 minutes.
They'll park the plane.
They'll park the plane. But these last two games are making me a lot more confident. And not to say that I wasn't confident about this team and where we're at right now. It's just, that's important. That's the top of the table, and you need every point you can get. And if somebody is going to come into your house and play like that, fight them. I know we're better, and I know we've learned, and I know we've taken every lick since then, and are going to put it into our best foot forward against this team. I don't have any doubts about any player subbing in. I know we talked about it early, and as soccer fans, you know, we watch games and you see a decision of somebody coming in at a certain point. You're like, oh my God. We haven't felt that one time, and I don't know if that's us as fans still learning, you know, who's going to show up in those moments. But so far, every single time, it's just getting backed up to have confidence in who's coming onto the pitch to represent the badge. And I think that should speak volumes to people as we head into this really busy homestand.
You know, you have Patty coming on for MPA, and I thought MPA played an insane game. Yep. Like, his interceptions were through the roof. I think he won like 75% of his duels. I mean, got to win your duels. It was amazing. But then Patty comes on and immediately turnover, and he makes a run forward as that, you know, deep lying playmaker, but he just busts his balls to go forward on a, and that was when it was 2-1, 3-1, right? Like, you don't have a weak link right now. You trust the subs to come in and be game changers, and that's just a great spot to be in.
Across the board. I mean, every position, like, yeah, we've had some really tough injuries to deal with this season through a really big growth period, but you bring in a veteran like Sega, you bring in some height with Noah.
He also went down after 15 minutes in his first game, just to, you know.
Scared the living daylights out of me.
Yeah,
every
that
time he goes down.
But now that they're getting reps, they're getting comfortable here. You're seeing the personality come through, and I really truly don't think we've seen Hearts of Pine operating at full capacity yet. I still truly believe that there is a lot more to this team that we're not seeing, and it's close to breaking open. So with that said,
Yeah,
we've been at this for about 50 minutes. Do we want to look ahead to Wednesday and then Friday and then Saturday again?
Stack them up. Woof.
So we're headed to Greenville. We've got a rematch against the Greenville Triumph in the house that Ronaldinho built, or is currently building, if you will.
currently building because they're playing at a college football stadium right now.
The only place with worse football lines than us right now. Peter,
I don't know. Westchester's giving them a run for their money.
valid.
The end zone. Oof.
The big red and yellow MV at midfield. Peter, how are you feeling about watching this game on TV and not knowing where the ball is, and B, what are your expectations on the road trip to Greenville?
so I'm always the worst oracle, okay? Because I'm always like, we're gonna lose. It's gonna be a tie or lose, you know. I would like to think that, unfortunately, over the last 6 months now, we've seen that the home support makes a huge difference for our team, right? That being said, I hope that if we support them from afar, they kind of feel that energy too, you know. Man, does anyone know their record, like Greenville's, or like the most recent record? I mean, I'm always asking you that question. I'm sitting here on the internet. I could just look it up, you know.
I'm pulling it up for you now.
Worry, we've got you covered here, Peter. But
so in Greenville's last 5, they're 2-2-1. 2 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss. They are currently sitting in 10th. 21 matches played. They have 24 points.
I see. That's a typical result that people say when they're indecisive, like 2-1. 2-1. We score more than the other team, but the other team scores at least once. That's how I'm going to say it. 2-1 for us. A big away win. It's going to be 9 out of the last 3 games, you know? So 9 points out of the last 3 games. Sam, what do you think for Wednesday?
It's a midweek, and gonna have to see here if Greenville played. If they played this past weekend, they did. Where they lost to Texoma 1-0. I'm gonna just place down on this one, and hope we just get some points out of it. I know we're at the point in the season where just one isn't enough at this point, but I'm not gonna be all Debbie Downer if we take a point out of it. I want 3, but wouldn't be pissed if we got 1. Tabor?
Panic. I think I was just looking back at what their lineup looked like the last time we played them, because I think that's telling as well, because the last time we played Charlotte, our lineup was vastly different. So I'm just cheating.
Mhm.
I'm filibustering a little bit right now to try to figure
Well,
that out.
yeah,
But,
that's
I without looking at that, Hearts look good right now. I mean, it's tough to see them going away and not getting a handful of goals. Maybe not, the 3, 4, 5 that I was talking about last week at this point, but I think it'll depend a little bit on who's up for a Wednesday game as well. And that's across the league, right? Like that's the variance in the league, is you got to be up for the game on the day that the game's actually happening. I kind of, I'm going to trust Bobby to get the boys up for the game, and then it's just a matter of going out and performing. But you've created a position where if they play like they play, if you can transition through the lines, you're going to score goals. And if you're going to score goals, with Sega, Kamali, with Messer, with Vinberg at right back. You know,
Wing.
or Kobe at right back. They're gonna hold it down defensively. So yeah, I'm gonna take Hearts 3-1. Crush them.
I have 2-0. We had a 3-1 showing last time we saw Greenville. I think they're leaky. They're playing a Texoma side that, you know, is kind of plateaued. I think Texoma finally found their identity. They started really slow, got really hot, and now they're kind of 1-0 on the weekend, welcoming in a red hot Hearts team. I can easily see us going 2-0. Need it.
I think it's going to be I think it'll be interesting. You know, it's with it being a midweek and all, we'll guess we'll just leave it up to chance. And then I would say that the bigger event is happening Friday night. We've got Hearts of Palooza 2.0 at Thompson's Point. This time, not just available to season ticket deposits when we were all still getting to know each other. It's now open to the public, and there's going to be food trucks. There's going to be a headliner here that's going to turn some heads. Mickey Riley and his dad on stage together.
That's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be awesome to watch.
We've been asking for almost a year to get Ike to Portland for a show, and I'm so glad that they're able to do a summer sunset at Thompson's Point. Really looking forward to that. I know the Valentine Band is going to show up. The supporters are going to show up. We have something to celebrate that isn't, hey, these are what you're going to be paying for your season tickets, and hey, the Dirigo Union is finally opening up paid membership. You should join for the low price of $25. Because that's when we opened up membership last year officially for this season.
And we're doing it again.
We're doing it again. 2026 memberships are on the way with some cool new perks. So stay tuned for that. But we also can celebrate that we've surpassed 700 paying Dirigo Union supporters in less than a calendar year. Unbelievably grateful for this huge community.
Due to our leadership here, you know, and that includes you too, Mitch, you know.
Thank you.
You know, the time and effort you guys put in, the things you have to put up with, including us.
Yeah.
It's all worth it. It's all worth it. We forget about all that when we show up at Fitzy, right? That's what the hugs and handshakes are for, you know?
Yeah.
It's also,
you know,
thoughtfulness of the whole group. Like,
mm-hmm.
you know, from the leadership to the way the capos, Dana, Peter handle things, like it's everybody's got an oar and they're ready to pull. And I really truly think you're all just doing an amazing job.
Like people stepping up to hand out flags when somebody isn't there. Like it's unbelievable, and it's just getting started.
We've all sort of found our niche, and it's really paying off now. And you know, it's now as we sort of exit the victory lap here. You know, it's gonna be interesting. That's you know, we're gonna have this nice little end of summer celebration, and I kind of wish there was a thing that was attached to it, given we've got a lot of home matches coming down the stretch. I know nobody from the front office is listening, but I know it's coming. Third kit reveal. Just let me hand over the $90 and we'll be all right. I don't care what the design is at this point, but
patience is a virtue, Sam.
Because we already have great shirts. You know what I mean? Like we can be picky.
We do. And I mean, I'm wearing the most recent release right now, and you know, they do not miss. They never have missed. And I think with this third kit, from the rumors I've been hearing, courtesy of the good folks at Hearts Uni Tracker, which is just a simple way to say myself. It's gonna be a good looking shirt, but that's you know, a very easy. That's a tap it.
Yeah, I think two things to your third kit. Patience is a virtue. Good things come to those who wait. And second thing is you do not know if anybody from the Hearts front office is watching, and you should always act as if they are, because we love them. So thank you for all you guys
If so, hi Gabe, hi Kevin, hi Damien, etc., etc., etc.
Sorry.
Yeah, you say you're sorry, Sam.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I would like a new shirt, please. Thanks.
Please.
Anything else to add as we wrap up this edition of the Dirigo Union post-match pulse?
I had another talking point on here, but we covered it, and it wrote handball bullshit. So I think we covered it.
Yeah, we did. We definitely did. I just want to touch back on the chat. Sean saying Keegan subs on to score the winning goal against his old team at the midweek. Hayes popping in at the end here. Ali, oh. And Blue and Green Army. So thank you so much for tuning in.
Blue and Green Army.
The end of this season is going to be so exciting. We've got like 8 home matches left. We're going to be partying at Fitzy all fall. Greenville, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Tune in on ESPN Plus. I think there's a watch party at O'Reilly's Cure. The Dirigo Union has a watch party at O'Reilly's Cure, and then there's a new Allagash location that the club is working on. So definitely recommend coming out to O'Reilly's Cure. Soccer supporters own it, and season ticket holders, DU members love Pat O'Reilly and his wife and all that they do for the Scarborough community. Really good food over there. So join us over there for the watch party. And other than that, we'll see you in the stands. Up the Hearts, everybody.
Up the Hearts.
Hearts.
Hear the drums, yours and mine, and it beats for our time from the forest to the tide.